Namaste YouTube, welcome Cafe Inoma and welcome to our reaction to Dancing with the Moonlit Night. Let's get started with our first time single take artist reaction to the song of Genesis. This is a Patreon request by our patron Martin.
Yeah, let's get started. It's also going to be featured in our Rock Fest hopefully. Let's listen to it for the first time. It's mentioned Selling England by the Pound. I'm assuming this is the album that this song is from. Interesting album title. Dancing with the Moonlit Night. I don't know if this dancing has anything to do with Selling England by the Pound. England certainly as an empire certainly sold many countries by the pound. That is for sure. Now that they are selling themselves too in this era, it's news to me. Let's get started.
Can you tell me where my country lies? Said the unicorn to his true love's eyes. It lies with me, cried the Queen of Maybe. For her merchandise he traded in his prize. Paper late, cried a voice in the crowd. Old man dies, the note he left was signed Old Father Thames. It seems he's drowned, selling England by the pound. Citizens of hope and glory, time goes by. It's the time of your life. Easy now, sit you down, chewing through your wimpy dreams. They eat without a sound, digesting England by the pound. Young man says you are what you eat well. Old man says you are what you wear. Well, you know what you are, you don't give a damn. Bursting your belt, that is your homemade share. The captain leaves his dance right out through the night. Join the dance, follow on till the grey of sunset sees them all. Follow on till the gold is cold, dancing out with the moonlit night. Knights in the green shields dance and shout. There's a fat old lady outside the saloon, paying out the credit card. She plays for tune. a start. And all of their hands are playing a part. Captain leads his dance right on through the night. Join the dance, follow on. At round table, talk it down we go. You're the show, off we go with you. Play the hobby horse, I play the fool. We'll tease the bull, ringing loud and loud, loud and loud. Follow on, with a twist of the world we go. Follow on, till the gold is cold. Dancing out with the moonlit night. Nights of the green fields stand and shout.
Don't know if this is a concept album or what, but it's definitely got a lot of complications in the way it is put forth. I love the music though, it was beautifully orchestrated, everyone did a good job, whoever was part of it. The ending was absolutely beautiful, that is the most interesting part of the song for me. There's no clarity in the objective of the song. The way the story goes for me, it's kind of confusing. It's like a hodgepodge of different things put together in a hurry by the songwriters, namely Peter Gabriel and the other members of Genesis. There's no intent while it is being sung to. It's narrated in a heartless manner, in a cold manner. I guess that's the way England ruled the world, you know, at whichever parts of the world they ruled, in the same cold, heartless manner. So it comes across fine, just fine to me in the singer's voice. Can you tell me where my country lies? Said the unicorn to his true lover's eyes. It lies with me, cried the queen of Maybe. For a merchandise he traded in his prize. Yeah, then paper late, cried a voice in the crowd, and it goes on and on and on. Young man says, you are what you eat, eat well. Old man says, you are what you wear well. So it's like hodgepodges of different themes that Genesis picks up, from some kind of short story book or something. And then they put it together to try to make sense of it based on a particular theme. Now this theme isn't, it should also be the objective, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Unless the story completes itself in future songs and it is a concept album, I think the Genesis really is wacko on this one. But the musically, they are beautiful. Vocally, they were really good. I'm assuming this is Peter Gabriel singing most of it. Really, really well sung. It is beautiful to listen to. I love the Kansas style kind of music that was happening in the middle of the song. It seemed to be directly inspired by Kansas. I can't think of Kansas copying or being inspired by Genesis.
Yeah.
Because Kansas did it all the time. So, and Genesis has only done it today. So I think that was the best part after the ending. That Kansas-like bit of Genesis in this song was the second best part for me. Apart from that, I felt it was all over the place. Kind of like England was all over the place. And at the end, they are still riddled in debt today. That's the biggest joke of it all.
Don't know how to manage your finances for sure. You're right, in a way, because I think they were trying to give perspectives of a lot of people of the country. Somebody is wondering where it is. Somebody knows where it is. It's with the Queen, definitely. The young people have
fortune teller kind of person with the credit cards. I think this must be the first mention of credit cards in a song
so early on.
Of that part. If it was the 80s. Or 90s.
True.
Probably the 80s
Credit
because
cards.
Peter Gabriel left Genesis pretty early, right?
But certain terms, stuck with the modern things that came, but they were already used in another terminology or another, idea. So like computer, today we know what is computer. Those days somebody who could count well was called a computer. So that term stuck. So credit card may have been some system that
I don't know why songs are not written about the reality of the history of England. How they robbed countries, how they looted, raped, killed people mercilessly, and played all kind of political games, mind games with the public wherever they went and conquered. Why aren't more songs written about that by artists such as Genesis?
Also,
if you're concerned about England being sold by the pound, why not write about your real history for a change?
Also, looking at the hindsight and looking at the lyrics of the song, if the whole world was being plundered, practically, not just saying it, no pun intended here, and even though the country that was doing and the people who were doing it, they weren't also happy with their own country. And everybody had their own ideas. Young people had their own idea. Old people had their own.
Sorry to interrupt you and your flow of thought. I think Englishmen are perpetually unhappy.
They are unsatisfied.
Throughout history, whatever we know of them, they are unhappy people.
They are unhappy.
They always look outside themselves for happiness.
Things, yes.
For happiness, for everything. And they find happiness in the weirdest of places. Hence, they are more unhappy in the aftermath of
the rest. Yeah, that is true. They are generally unsatisfied.
It says it well in this line. It seems he's drowned, selling England by the pound. That's a really wise line that was written by Peter Gabriel or whoever wrote it in Genesis. This is the sharpest line in this whole song for me. It seems he drowned when the old man dies. It seems he's drowned, selling England by the pound. Well written for that. Well written. That's the entire story of England for you in a couple of lines. It seems he's drowned, selling everything by the pound. Not England. Everything.
Also, I like the moment when he starts saying the captain leads the dance right on through the night. I join the dance, and then the music starts becoming faster. Join the dance. I was wondering why was the dance on, but there was some sort of dance, so everybody's the music started dancing itself. Yeah, it definitely has references maybe. For the people of England, because for me we are on the opposite side of the whole thing, not opposite of England as in opposing country of England, but I'm saying the whole thought process and whole idea and philosophy and everything.
I think we should be an opposing country as well.
Yeah, we should. Ideally it should happen that way, but it is not.
We are all too forgiving.
People from India are forgiveful and forgetful, if both of them make sense. Forgetful for sure, and too forgiving, I guess, for their own good. But the same problems being even faced by the English people, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. How can you even have that? Or if you had that, then why all that? Whatever was done. Everything that is mentioned also was happening everywhere else. I don't know when this was happening, maybe when Genesis was writing this. So maybe we already had that. And once the money flow stopped coming, then all this cries. A lot of people were very unhappy that England had to. They thought they were willingly giving up on colonies. They had a choice and they would not want to stay. It wasn't that way. It wasn't that way. The people who were there in those countries, they knew what exactly was going on. If they stayed any longer, I think people had known too much. People had known too much. It would not have been any better if they stayed any longer. That is how it is. So a lot of people, even today, must be regretting. Those who know of the colonial history of England, why did we leave that country and that country? We should have been still, owning those countries so that we could have a comfortable life. I think you just like too much comfort.
Yeah, and in that comfort, there comes your discomfort. That's it for this one. Genesis, dancing with the moonlit night. One thing I would really love is to see the members of Genesis dancing for a change. Anyone have a video? Please place it in the comments. The members of Genesis dancing, especially the chubby Phil Collins and Peter Gabriel. I would love to see them dancing on stage. Yeah, today of course Phil Collins is more or less confined to a wheelchair because of his age and other reasons. So not today's video. Anytime, any video where they actually danced. They talk so much about all these things, but I wonder if they actually had a good dance in their own lives.
Okay.